Hi, my name is David. I'm part of the Lichtwerkstatt team, which is a makerspace here at the Epicenter of Photonics at the University of Jena. In this little video, I'm going to show you how you can record your screen and share, for example, a presentation or a software demonstration with your students. If you haven't set up everything right now with the hardware, for example, the microphone and the camera, then you should watch our other video where we show you how to set up everything. In this little video, we are going to show you how to pick the right source so that you can record your screen, give you some detailed information on the settings, and show you how to start the record, and finally how to create a file that you can upload on Moodle, which is called the Remux step. At the Epicenter of Photonics here, you will find on the computer two folders. One folder, we will provide slides for the intro and the outro. You can use them, but you don't have to. Then there is another folder which is called recordings, and this folder, there will be stored your video files. But let's have a look to the OBS software and start your first screencast. So now you see there is a black background. That's okay so far. First thing you have to do is to select a source, the video source in our case, that you will use for your recording. In our case, we want to record our screen, so we do a display capture. There are also other opportunities, but in our case, it makes the most sense to use this option. So we select the display capture, then you can give it a name. I just keep it as it is. Click on OK, and now you see that it captures all of your screen. It's normal that it's an infinite screen here. Just keep it as it is and click on OK. The next thing you want to do is you also maybe want to be in the video. So to do that, you need to select the camera that records yourself sitting in front of your computer at home, for example. And to do so, you click another time on the Add menu, and this time you add a video capture device. That could be an external camera, but most likely, in this case, it will be your integrated webcam of the laptop. You could also give it a name. We just keep it the same name as it is. And then you see at the moment we have also an external camera from the conference system, but we want to record now, in this case, with the internal camera of the laptop. So we select that one. Now you can see me in the video and click on OK. The next and very important thing is that you don't only record your video, you also want to record your audio. So you have to put plus on your audio input capture. So now you can give it a name. We don't do that. We select the microphone 3 Realtek because the other one is connected to the conference system here. So we we use the internal microphone. Okay. So now we have selected everything. So what is important to set up before you start the recording is that you make sure that you have the right size for the window of your recording. So here you can see I can resize the video that is captured from yourself. You can make it bigger or smaller just by doing this with the mouse, and you can position it in wherever you want it to be. In my case, I want it to be on the right corner, and I want to minimize it so that the people can see more from the slides. Okay. Another important thing is you are in the front layer with your own video capture. So for example, you can also put it behind the screen capture, and then it will be also not seen in the video that you provide for your students. So please make sure that you're in the front layer with your recording of your video. So to do so, you use these little arrows and just put it in front. Okay. So the next thing you should do is to have a little look into the settings. So the most important things here are audio, video, and the output. So let's talk first about the video. So here you can see that the video is, the resolution of the video is full HD, which is 1920 times 1080. To reduce the file size, I definitely recommend to lower that to normal HD. So we can select that here and do that right now. So you see now it's normal HD, which is 1280 times 720, and that's definitely enough for your video. Also, you can have a quick look onto the frames per second, the FPS. So sometimes it's a pre-selection of 60 FPS, but we recommend to use 30 because that's also sufficient for your videos. So now you are all set with the video. You can do apply so that it saves your selections. Then in audio you can also use different things, but we would say let it just stay with the standard here. And now we will have a quick look into the output. What is important here? So this is the area where you select what quality your output file has. And you can select high quality or also lower quality, but sometimes even if you select the lowest quality available in the options here, it's still too big to upload it on a platform like Moodle. Not always, but sometimes. And if that is the case, the best thing to do is just use same as in the stream as an option, and then have a closer look to the bit rate. Because video data tends to get large, very large, a video stream has to get compressed so the data can be transferred in real time. The rate of compression is usually specified by the size of data per second. Although we are recording a video here to a hard drive, instead of streaming it live to the internet, the so-called bitrate is a very practical tool to control file sizes. To shorten your upload time, save server space, or space of your institution and network capabilities of your students, you should always tend to minimize the file size of your video files. If you are, for example, don't want to exceed 1 gigabyte of data for 19 minutes of a lecture, you have 8,000 megabits for 5,400 seconds, which results in a bitrate of 1.48 megabits per second. Respectively 1,480 kilobits per second. The necessary bitrate depends on the shown course content. Please record a preceding short quality test in the desired bitrate if unsure if the quality fits your requirements. So in our case, here we put in to not exceed 1 gigabyte for 19 minutes of lectures, 1,480 kilobits per second, to just make that sure. And then we click on apply. So now we can start the recording, and it's important that you don't click on streaming, you should click on recording. So we do that, and now your screen and everything on it is recorded by the software OBS. So for example, you can do a lot of things now. You can show your students some PDF files that you have prepared for them, or you also want to use maybe a PowerPoint presentation. So we have here an example for that. And then you can just have a normal presentation by maximize it to your screen and you click through your slides. Also what is possible and what your students will see is if you mark something on the slide. So for example, if you want to highlight the spectral filters, you can just use the PowerPoint built-in pen to stress that. Okay, another possibility, if you, for example, maybe want to show or have a coding session with your students, you can also use software like Spider to show them how to do code in Python. So in our case, we have prepared here something, and let's see what is the result of it, of this code. Oh, it's an Apfelmännchen or a Mandelbrot fractal. Okay, anyway, so let's go back to OBS and finalize your file. So now you can stop the recording, what I do now, and the next step is that you have to create a file, and this is called Remux. For Remux, you will have to understand the context. As mentioned before, you will have to compress video data. There are several algorithms for this, one quite famous and also used by default here is the H264. These algorithms are called codecs, and you might have heard other ones like MPEG or AAC or MP3. This compressed video data is then stored into a container file, which you can recognize from the file ending. Screen and videocast software like OBS often records in the Matroshka MKV container format, which is very suitable for streaming. But common video platforms and players only allow the file formats like MP4. OBS allows to record directly as MP4, which is not recommended because MKV is very robust against file corruption, and even if your computer breaks down during a recording session, for example, you can use MKV recording, which is not the case with MP4 files. To get your MP4 anyway, OBS has a built-in Remux functionality which transfers video data from one container into another container format. So you just have to click on Remux Recordings, select the file, the session that we just recorded, this one here, open it, and then you see there is a target file which is located on the desktop folder that I mentioned just at the beginnings with the name recordings. So now you click on Remux, which is pretty fast in our case because it was a short video. Click on OK, and now let's just have a look if everything went well by going into the recordings folder. So now you see there are two files. One is the MKV file, which we are not going to use to upload. We are using the MP4 file. So let's have a quick look. And now your screen and everything on it is recorded. Okay, and as you can see, everything worked quite well, so we can upload it right now. Thank you very much for watching our tutorial on screencast recording. We hope it was helpful for you, and you can soon start to upload your own videos for your students. So if you are interested into going into more detail on the software side, we also offer a little tutorial on advanced OBS techniques, or also one on editing. And if you want to know actually how to upload your file, you can watch our little video on uploads, for example, on platforms like Moodle. Thank you very much, and see you soon.